Hello and welcome to the Stream of Truth. I am Dr. Tassel Faith Shanebrook.
I'm Sean Kelly.
And today, such an interesting topic. The key to your spiritual path, the North and South nodes. Dun, dun, dun. Very exciting. So, just as a disclaimer, I am not by any means an expert in astrology. And what about you, sir?
I'm nothing. I have no idea about astrology. I basically know my own signs, and that's about it. I know a little bit about the houses and stuff like that, but I haven't spent a
Yeah.
ton of time.
So yeah, we're not experts in astrology at all. So what we're going to talk about today is just our own personal understanding of the North and South nodes and how helpful they have been to us in really understanding our life path. So I'll just start off by saying for the majority of my life, I I didn't quite understand what was going on in my life. Um, so I'm a according to the nodes, I'm a Libra South node, which means that I have spent many incarnations in relationship, in very close partnerships, marriages and business partnerships. And I'm really good at relationships. And I really like really close relationships. And that's where my skill set is, that's where my comfort zone is. And then my North node is in Aries. And it's kind of the opposite, basically. The North node in Aries means that in this lifetime, so we're moving from the South node to the North node in our incarnations. So in this lifetime, I'm moving from this comfort zone in relationship to learning to be more independent, more self sufficient, more self focused, um, more of a little bit more of a loner in a way. And so before I knew all this, in my lifetime, I have found myself alone a lot, and I haven't liked it. I was very much alone as a child, very much alone as a teenager, very much alone as an adult. And I kept thinking, what the heck is going on in my life? This doesn't feel comfortable to me. This is not really what I want. And I thought this is a catastrophe. I don't know what the heck is going on. And then about 2 years ago, a really dear friend of mine introduced me to the South and North Node, and I read about it. And then it just was this huge light bulb moment of finally understanding my life path. And oh,
Yeah, it
I'm
makes
supposed to be alone.
makes so much sense suddenly.
My life, which I kind of saw as a bit of catastrophe, it all of a sudden makes made sense. This honestly was one of the most helpful pieces of information I've ever figured out about my life. It felt like I got my soul's plan. I got like a detailed plan of what I'm supposed to be doing in
You
this
have the
incarnation.
itinerary.
I got the itinerary. I
Yeah,
got the trajectory. This is what you're doing, Tassel. This is what you're doing, girl.
that's awesome.
Um, how about you? What was your experience?
So mine's Scorpio South Node, Taurus North Node, and it seems pretty accurate for me as well. Um, so I guess one of the major themes in my life has been speaking my truth, but people not really liking it that much, or at least me feeling like that, like feeling like I'm not able to do that. And so this life seems to be about me establishing that authenticity, standing in that truth more, being more expressive, being more, I guess, confident, but uh, and I think too some of the sort of darker sides of the Scorpio, which we've talked about a little bit around like having some venom and in the expression like I can, sometimes my words can sting, right?
Yes.
And I think so. What I'm learning is how to deliver my truth, sort of without doing that. Learning how
Yeah.
to just be strong like a bull, right? I just stand in my truth strongly,
Yes.
right? And I don't have to I don't have to like put any venom anywhere. I'm just
Right.
strong in the truth. And I think that's what I'm primarily learning. And then there's a lot of interesting things around various, uh, like growing up in sort of privileged ways and having to forge my own path, that type of thing, which has been a sort of a theme in my life as well. So that's been really interesting. Um, as well as
Yeah.
I guess there's manipulation as well included in that. Um,
Yeah. In the South Node that you're releasing.
yeah, yeah. So like I guess earlier on in life, I noticed that I would manipulate people a little bit here and there to get things. I thought everyone did this. So
Yeah.
I thought everyone just knew what everyone was doing. I thought everyone was manipulating each other. I almost thought everyone was sort of aware of it.
Yeah.
Like I thought everyone could see it as clearly as I could. But later I realized that no, like people didn't really realize how they were being, how they were deceiving each other and stuff like that. And so I think I'm just really able to see it. Um, and so that's part of the strength, but I'm trying to move away from that type of behavior. And so I think I have. But in the past, I would just say the right things or do the things so that people would leave me alone more or less, right? So that I could
Yeah.
have an easier life. I didn't manipulate people to get so much stuff in my life or to progress in any real way. It was more just to make my life easier.
Hmm.
But I'm starting to learn. I've eventually started to learn that's not really okay to really do that type of thing. So that's been a big thing for me as well.
Yeah. And so just to restate, to make sure, I'm not sure we totally stated it, that all of us have a south node and a north node, and we've put a link in the description where you can just type in. You can go to this address on the web, and you can just type in your birth date, your time of birth, and where you were born, and it'll just quickly spit out your south node and your north node.
Yep.
And so all of us have come into this incarnation with a lot of skills in our south node, and we're moving more towards our north node
Yeah.
in this lifetime. So we're releasing some of the more shadow elements that maybe not so highest and best
Exactly.
from the south node, and embracing uh, the highest and best qualities of the
Yeah.
north node.
The positive
Yeah.
aspects of the North Node.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this before, but all of us are doing that. So we can recognize that there's people that are trying to step more into their power, like you are with Aries, that Aries North Node,
Yes.
or people that are
Yes.
speaking more of their truth. In my case, um,
Yes.
uh, maybe we don't know how to do that very well yet, right? So
Right.
we can learn how to hold some space, how to basically be a little more patient when we're noticing that some people
Yes.
are maybe overbalanced or underbalanced in some way. Um,
Yes.
like if you're constant, if you have a friend or something that's constantly trying to make everything about them, maybe their north node is like a Leo or something, right? And they're trying to be the center of attention. They're trying to learn how to come out of their box and their shell and be center of attention, something like that. So
Yes.
you can have a lot of patience because everybody's on these various journeys and we don't really know what everyone's doing. Um, and helps
Exactly.
us, I think, yeah, just generate patience and compassion.
Exactly. It's so easy to fall into judgment. But why can't that person like be more like me, or be more peaceful, or be more harmonious? And that may not be the trajectory that they're on. As you said, they might be learning to be more self-focused and more the center of attention or whatever. So it's just great to just zoom out and realize each one of us is on a unique path to benefit their soul's expansion, and we don't need to be judgy about any of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really helpful between partners like us, even just talking about it. As we talked a bit before the stream, we read each other's north and south nodes, and even just knowing that you're a Scorpio south node, and that sometimes you may say things with a bit of a sting, it is very helpful because
Yeah.
I have experienced that, and I felt kind of hurt by it. But knowing that's part of what you've experienced, it gives it a lot more context and a lot more understanding.
Yeah, or
Um,
and another thing about it is like, you, one of my things is that I often feel like people are trying to manipulate me, right?
yeah.
Because it seems like I've had a past where I've been aware of manipulating people, and I'm
Yes.
sort of perhaps an expert in this. These are not the most exciting things for me to admit. So perhaps I know how to do this well, and I can see it from a mile away, type thing. And so that causes me to have this sort of bias of perception, um, that I see manipulation all over the place. I don't see actions
Yeah.
for action's sake. I often see the motivations behind actions, and it causes me to sometimes have a view of the world that isn't quite right. Like, it can be
It,
hard sometimes for me to believe that people are just saying something nice just to be nice, right? It
yeah,
can be
right.
difficult for that some of that type of stuff, and so I can get pretty weird, when I can feel, like, I feel like people tend to have agendas, and they won't tell you what they are, and I
Yeah, we were even
you
talking
know
about that in relation to affection,
yeah,
because at this point in our relationship, it seems we have a lovely, affectionate relationship back and forth. But you were saying that in the past, you maybe saw affection as people having an agenda, or maybe that is, what you experienced.
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it came across to me when people would talk. Almost always they had some agenda. They were trying to get something, right? Almost
Yeah.
always. And it
Hmm.
was obvious to me that that's what was happening, and I felt like that was manipulation, right?
Yeah.
Because
So we're biased
yeah,
towards our south node qualities because we've just been immersed in in those qualities in lifetime after lifetime.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's so interesting. Maybe I can ask you this question: what south node quality is the hardest for you to release?
Probably the self expression. So basically, Scorpio can be like mysterious and secretive, and I think in this life, one of my things I'm really working on still. A lot of the things I've traversed already, I think. But one of the main ones I'm working on is this, which is like self expression, expressing my truth, um, and feeling okay with it, like being strong in it, like not worrying about it. So I do a pretty good job at saying my truth, but I worry about it a lot. So I'm
Hmm.
trying. I think what I'm trying to do in this life is get to a place where I'm not so worried. I'm
Yeah.
I'm fine to just say whatever. And then I'm also trying to work on, like, forging my own life path, for like, I guess, taking care of myself,
Hmm.
in that way. Um,
And is there a quality in Taurus North Node that you're most excited about really embodying?
um, Probably just just the truth, just being comfortable in my truth and
Yeah.
not worrying about things. Like, that's probably my biggest stress. One of my biggest stresses is not feeling like I can speak. So, or not feeling like people want me to speak, and not knowing what the right thing to say is. Those types of things. Probably one of my biggest stresses. So to um, feel content with that would be really helpful for me. What about you? What do you think your most challenging one is?
Yeah. Okay. So for me, it's letting go of always needing to be with people,
Okay.
uh, and embracing more the Aries North Node aspect of being comfortable, okay, being alone. And so, kind of like what you said, that has been the most challenging aspect in this lifetime for me. And at the same time, I'm most excited about continuing to become more and more comfortable when I am alone. Because that seems really freeing
Yeah.
to just, I mean, I love to be with you. I love to be with my kids. I love to be with lots of people. But if I can't, and it's time for me to be alone, it's great to just be okay with that. And I've, in this lifetime, and particularly, I would say in the past 5 years, I've more learned to partner with myself. And I did a video on this about inner partnership, and that this has just been a huge, huge expansion for me to realize I'm never alone. I got myself. I have the divine. So that's been just lovely. I'm super excited about just getting better and better and more comfortable with that. And it's
Amazing.
so interesting that I'm talking about this being alone piece and you're talking about speaking your truth piece. And these are things we talk about all the time with each other of our challenges and how we kind of get triggered around these things. So to me, it just really highlights how helpful knowing your South Node, North Node can be.
Oh my
Um,
God, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you and I talk about this stuff all the time, and
These are our
it's right.
biggest, probably our biggest things that come up with each other.
Yeah, and it's right in the descriptions of the South Node and North Node. So, this might not resonate with everybody, but I have just found this information so helpful. Like one of the most helpful pieces I've ever received about my incarnation.
Yeah, and to some it may be very silly because it's very basic astrology stuff, but for
Yeah.
people who haven't heard about it, it's life changing, I think. So
It
it's
really has changed my life. It has
yeah,
given me so much peace about what has happened in my life so far, where I've been so out of my comfort zone, basically, and sort of not, yeah, just out of my comfort zone and things being very hard for me. It's given me so much peace, and then it's given me so much clear direction. Oh, this is what. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in this incarnation. Thank you. I get it. All right, I'm on it.
exactly.
Um, and I think we can think about this as the soul's comfort zone. So our soul has been in many incarnations in the South Node qualities
Hmm.
and really comfortable there. It's really cozy there. But in this incarnation, our soul is asking us to move out of our soul's comfort zone and expand into some other aspects of being, just so we become these really well rounded, amazing, badass souls, right?
Basically, yeah, that's exactly how I see it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we need to. I think we need to traverse all the paths, right? We need
Yes,
to do all the
exactly.
things.
All the things we come here with north nodes in all the zodiac, I assume,
Yeah,
to just round ourselves off as soul. Um,
exactly.
and I was thinking that some of my background is in marriage and family therapy about how helpful this information would be between couples and family members.
Yeah,
Because like in every family, people are so different. Children are different from the same parents, right? This
right.
is to me always a sign of the reality of reincarnation. And um but because everybody's on a different path, everybody's working different things in these incarnations. And just I think it's really helpful information to know what your partner's north and south node is, and your children and people you work with. If this resonates with you, I think it's really helpful information.
Absolutely. It helped me a lot. That's for sure. And
It's helped me understand you a lot. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and just in your relationships, if you know that your partner's working on their expression, like I was saying earlier, that I'm trying to learn how to
Yes.
express better, that just sort of trying to be patient and compassionate, realizing that they're maybe not so good at it, right? That they're working on it.
Exactly. I think it's so easy. I've made this mistake so often. It's so easy to just kind of think that everyone is like you,
Hmm.
that people know how to do the things you know how to do. And but yeah, obviously we all come in with different skill sets and we're all working towards different skill sets. So just I love the phrase, just a blanket of grace
Yes.
for ourselves, for everyone else. We don't know exactly what they're up to in this incarnation. And yeah, this I love this north south node so much. It's given me so much peace and then so much clear direction um, in my life. I can't say enough about it. I hope anyone who's interested, if you found this video, perhaps have an interest in it. And if you don't know what your north and south nodes are, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna figure out a whole bunch of stuff that's been going
I
on in your
think
life and why.
it can feel life changing.
Oh,
Yeah,
totally, totally. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think we'll stop there. And in the comments, we'd love to hear about your experience with the North and South nodes. And if you enjoy this video, it helps so much to like it and subscribe to our channel. And we also have an amazing Patreon community. And we have a membership as low as $5 a month. We would love to have you. It's the price of like a Starbucks coffee. So we hope as many people can join as possible. It's a great group.
Yes, definitely.
Uh, all right. So much love to everybody.
Take care.